Randy the Natural Couture.
This is BJ Penn.
This is John Fitch.
Hey, I'm Ariane Celeste.
I'm Forrest Griffin.
I am Fedore. You are watching MMA Facts.
What did you think of the fights tonight?
I actually didn't get to watch them firsthand too much. I was getting a little bit of artwork done on my back, so I got them DVR'd so I can go home and watch them. I got some texts, so obviously don't want to say too much. The only thing that kind of upset me was I heard that, Rogan was making a lot of excuses for certain fighters for why they perform badly. That's always disheartening to me, just for the reason being that every fighter has reasons why we don't perform at 100%. I think as fans, we don't want to hear heroes or warriors ever sitting and complaining that they almost died from staph or anything else. I think that's pretty sad and pathetic. We're 1-1 against each other. The first time I fought him, he had a lot of lack of experience. It was only his first fight in the UFC, and I was able to capitalize on that. But he was smarter than me. He made up a lot of grounds and technique, and even though he's not more technical than I am, he was able to learn enough technique to bring in his athletic ability. And our second fight showed that he made much better improvements than I did. I'm learning my lessons. He beat me fair and square. So in the second fight, I learned that I need to improve upon my athletic ability and increase my overall strength and stuff. So that's why I'm training with Mark Philippi during the afternoons now. And so that way the next time we fight each other, I can also improve upon why I lost last time.
Now, you've also stated that you would never fight Randy. Does that still hold strong?
Yeah, just because Randy Couture is a hero in our sport, I look up to him. And I have a certain viciousness about the way I fight. That's why there's many people that they have steel plates put inside their body because of me afterwards. I don't know if I can enter the ring with the same kind of viciousness towards Randy. I have so much respect for him that I don't want to have any excuses for why I would lose to him. So I'm one of those people that if I know there's a reason why I can't perform at 100%, then I avoid it. I know that Randy's probably one of the fighters in the world that I could not perform at 100% at, because I honestly don't know if I had him caught cold turkey, if I could crank him. I think he's a hero. I look up to him in a lot of ways. I think, honestly, I'd probably be in awe of him when I stepped in there, and that's a bad thing. So, thankfully, I'm 30, and even though he seems to be pretty immortal, I'm hoping the fact that he's 45, 46, eventually he's going to catch up to him. So maybe I can avoid him.
Now, Anderson Silva talked about moving up to heavyweight to challenge you. Is that about your pursuing?
Yeah, actually, I would. I mean, if you had an opportunity to play against Michael Jordan, would you not choose to? If Mike Tyson became, if I could box against him, I would choose to. That's my personality. I always want to fight or test myself against the best fighters in the world. Anderson Silva is one of the best fighters pound for pound. Even though I would have a size advantage on him, I think that fighting him, I would try to use a lot of skill. I want to be in the octagon with him. Some of the things he does seems like it's being scripted. It's so unbelievable. I would love the opportunity to be able to face him.
Some commentators stated that Forrest Griffin's loss to Silva was a little bit embarrassing. What did you think about that fight?
There's nothing ever embarrassing about a warrior losing to another warrior. Forrest Griffin went in there and gave his all, and he got caught with one of the best fighters in the world. It happens. Anybody who finds that embarrassing, that's an excuse not to compete then. And I think that's a bad message to send to children or our youth in the world. There's no such thing as embarrassment when you go up there and you give your best. I trained with Forrest for that fight. He trained his hardest. He showed up. He lost to a better man on that night. What's embarrassing about that? Only a coward would find that embarrassing, and that's why they're on their home, on their couch, watching it from television. They'll never compete and never be out there, never risk embarrassment.
Fear of being knocked out in a similar manner?
Of course. Anderson Silva is one of the best fighters in the world. I can't guarantee that I would smash him. I think that that's a phenomenal fight. The only fights that I truly, honestly, besides Randy, that I would avoid is a fight that I know I could easily win. I'm not going to waste my time. I want to fight fights that I could lose in. I don't want to fight a guy that I can beat easily. What's the point?
Now, do you think there was any misunderstanding in the comments made when stated that Fedore was ducking the best from the UFC?
Obviously, there's a lot of complications with that, or a lot of, his management team, I think, is the reason why he can't do a lot of the things he would like to do. But bottom line is, it makes him look bad. The fact that he signed with Strikeforce, you can't tell me that he's making more money with Strikeforce than what he was making with the UFC. So it's not for financial reasons. So why? And it probably, honestly, it's probably his management team, and it makes him look bad. The reason why I fight in the UFC is because if you're the king of the hill in the UFC, you're the king of the world. You can be the best fighter in Strikeforce, you can be the best fighter in Affliction, and that's what it means. You're the best fighter in Strikeforce. You're the best fighter in Affliction. You're not the best fighter in the world. The best fighters in the world fight in the UFC. Bottom line, that's just what it is.
He said he had nothing to prove. What do you think about that?
That's a sad statement. I think everybody every morning should wake up with something to prove. The minute you don't think you have something to prove, retire, go home, and disappear.